Whenever you are ready, Alex, I am ready for you, sir.
How much about Oregon do you know? Could you tell me what our state bird is? For the topic of my speech, I will inform all of you about our state bird, the western meadowlark. Now, birds are all around us, of course, so if you ever go outside, wouldn't it be cool to be able to identify a piece of what makes Oregon, Oregon? Now, birds are my favorite animals, and for fun, I love to do research on all different types of them online. For my informative speech, I will describe to you the habitat of the western meadowlark, explain its physical features, and also describe the sounds that it makes. But first, let's talk about where you can find this bird. The western meadowlark has a pretty standard habitat. It is mostly found in grassy plains, agricultural fields, and meadows. They also tend to prefer areas with lower vegetation, so they're a bit more common in eastern and central Oregon than the Willamette Valley. This map shows where their habitat range is. As you can see from certain sections, they're found in certain places during either breeding or non-breeding seasons. But as you can see, in Oregon, they're found in almost the entirety of it all year round. However, their habitats can also be subject to damage from human activity. According to Matthew D. Giovanni, Larkin A. Powell, and Walter H. Shahat in their journal titled Habitat Preference and Survival for Western Meadowlark Fledglings in a Contiguous Prairie System, published by the Cornell Lab of Wilson Journal of Ornithology in June of 2015, which states, conservation and viability of grassland bird populations in the Great Plains region of North America is increasingly uncertain, with the prospect of more frequent events of climate extremes, higher levels of planet stochasticity, increased atmospheric CO2, and consequent changes in soil and plant dynamics. So now that you know more about where they can be found, it would be a good idea to know what they look like, of course. One interesting thing about the western meadowlark is that it's a part of the blackbird family. And despite its name, the birds of this family can actually be pretty colorful and sport unique physical features. One, according to a magazine section titled Western Meadowlark, published on nationalgeographic.com, which I accessed on October 29, 2019, states the western meadowlark is a rotund, stocky, medium-sized blackbird with a long bill, short tail, strong legs, and pointed tail feathers. The adults are bright yellow with a bold black V on breast. Here's a picture of what one looks like. You can see on the front the black V-shaped marking, as well as its bright yellow feathers. The sides of them have dark spots, and the back of them are more tan and brown in color. It's also not uncommon to find one perched on top of a fence or a pole, like the one you see in this picture. So now that you know what they look like, it would also be a good idea to know what they sound like too. The western meadowlark is actually pretty renowned for its impressive singing abilities. This bird has great vocal capabilities, which help to distinguish it in appearance from its close relative, the eastern meadowlark. According to Western Meadowlark Sounds, which I found on the website allaboutbirds.org, published by the Cornell Lab of Ornithology on June 27, 2015, male western meadowlarks have a complex two-phrase primary song that begins with 1 to 6 pure whistles and descends to a series of 1 to 5 gurgling warbles. Males develop a repertoire of up to a dozen songs, which they may switch the songs they sing in response to an intruder. This is a video of a Western meadowlark singing so that you know what it sounds like. People like to describe its voice as sounding watery or flute-like. You can kind of hear that. So if you are outside and you hear something that sounds like that, it's probably a Western meadowlark. So now you know basically all the information there is to know about them. From my speech, I hope that I've given all of you a good idea of where they can be found, what they look like, and also what they sound like. It is my hope now that the next time you're maybe outside, you might see one perched in the branch of a tree, or you might hear it chattering away. You can identify a piece of Oregon. Thank you.